Hey everyone, welcome back to MentorTCG. This time we're coming back to you guys with another starter deck. This starter deck is ST-10 for the Digimon TCG. This is Parallel World Tactician. This one is based off of both Angelomon and Lady Devimon and how they combine into making, what is it, Mastamon here. ST-1006. Alright, so let's get started. Just like last time, we are going to go through all the cards and then we'll see what we can do to actually make this deck a little bit more competitive after seeing what the deck is capable of doing on its own. So here we go. And this time I know we started from the front with the Digi-8, but this time let's go ahead and start from the back. You got your rollings, so if this is your first time playing Digimon, you do have, it'll help you to get started of how to play. They're always color coded too with what the box or what Digimon you have. So this one is yellow and purple. Of course, and you could probably guess that this series or this box comes with both your memory gauges for Angelomon and Lady Devimon. So if you're playing against your opponent, just switch one of the sides over. And it really doesn't matter which side. I didn't say that last time, but whichever side you want, you can switch that for them. And these are pretty cool. I do like, and I don't know if I showed it last time, but these guys are actually metal. And there's a little, what was it, hollow foil effect that it has on it. These are really nice. Alright, so let's get started with the deck here. Your Digi-8 is Nairomon. The inherited effect is when attacking, if you have a yellow Digimon in play, draw one. And following that, then this is a kind of an ongoing effect for purple Digimon is if you do trash one card in your hand. You do get 4 of these Digimon, and that's a very good effect. And actually, because it has a draw engine, there's not much that you want to replace this with. If you do replace it, there is one Digi-8, and we'll get to that later on. You can use this effect, or you can use the one that we'll be talking about later. First off, we have Salamon at level 3. The inherited effect is end of your turn. You may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play into a Digimon card in your hand by paying its Digivolution cost. Really early on, this level 3 that kind of mirrors what we had in ST-9 with the Ultimate Ancient Dragon. But Salamon is what gets you over to Angelomon within the Digivolution line. It's pretty basic. Aside from the inherited effect, play cost of 3, evolves a Digi-8, a baby Digimon. It's 0 with a DP of 2000. You get 4 copies of those. Next you have Lotmon, another level 3 with a play cost of 3, 0s for when you Digivolve, and it hits for 4000 DP. Your first super rare of this series of this deck is Gatomon. It's a level 4. The textures are really nice, and it's not one of those circular textures on the background, kind of like those abstract triangles texture. It's really nice. Hopefully you can see that there. But on a level 4, this actually says on play, so this is something you might want to consider holding on to, so you can play it from your hand when you have a good memory cost, or on the memory gauge you have enough to hit or to keep it on your turn. But on play, it says reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 yellow Digimon card and 1 purple Digimon card among them to your hand. So you can essentially add 2 cards at once. So the cost of that much memory for 2 cards is pretty good. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. During your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve into a card with Archangel or Fallen Angels in its traits, reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 2. So it kind of might not be the same turn, but you can get your memory back. It kind of breaks even after a couple turns. The inherited effect, end of your turn, just like Salamon here, you may DNA digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play into a Digimon card in your hand by paying its DNA Digivolve cost. So we'll come back to that. We'll definitely be talking about that later. There's only 2 copies of this super rare, so like I said before, usually you don't get all 4 copies in this deck, especially if you want to run 4 copies. It's best to get purchase 2 copies of that starter deck. So in this case, Parallel World Tactician, you do want to get 2 copies of that. Get your 4 there. Angelomon is your next card here. This is one of the rares. Play cost is 6 with a Digivolution cost of 3. And another card that you might want to consider to play just on play. One of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -2 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So if you have an opponent that's actually hitting for 2 security costs, or even just 1, and you can't get around that, or you can't destroy it the next round, this is something that you can just make sure that you won't get attacked. You'll get attacked still, but they can't attack your security checks. They might just consider attacking your Digimon instead. The inherited effect here, while you have a purple Digimon in play, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So when you have this Digivolved to Mastamon, which is next, or another level 6, it'll hit for twice. So this deck comes with 2 super rares of Mastamon here, and you can see here that the play cost is 13, Digivolution cost is 5 for either level, purple or yellow, but you also have a DNA Digivolution cost of 0 from a level 5 yellow and a level 5 purple. Both Digimon can't be suspended. They both need to be unsuspended, and then you stack all of them all under Mastamon. When Digivolving, place 1 yellow or purple Digimon card from your trash on top of your security stack, face down. When DNA Digivolving, you may search your security stack for 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card and play it without paying its memory cost. So essentially what you're doing is you're taking a Digimon from your trash, adding it to your stack, your security stack, and you're picking a Digimon from that stack to add it to your field. It's pretty nice. Then you get to shuffle your stack, your security stack. So really, you're having 2 strong hitters, a decent hitter of 13,000 DP, or a strong hitter, and then a decent hitter in a level 5 or lower. All turns, when you play another Digimon using an effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the played Digimon's level. That's pretty strong. Is that what we have here from BT or EX2 is that EX2 gave us some alternate rares here. And this is the same Mastamon, but it came as a box topper for EX2. The texture for these super rares is a little bit different. I do like this one here that comes from the starter deck itself, but this is another one that you can get if you were buying a couple boxes of EX2. You might have pulled this as a box topper. I just didn't show that in the last video. Sorry about that, guys. But that's pretty nice for another Mastamon alternate art. I do like this one because it kind of reminds me of Evangelion or those other, Gundam looking animes. Alright, moving on, we have Ghostmon at level 3 for purple, the purple side of this deck. Play cost of 3. During your opponent's turn, while you have a yellow Digimon in play, this Digimon gains blocker. So like I believe Kabuterimon, this is your blocker for your purple and yellow deck. These can be switched out just like your Lopmons here. But if you're looking for blockers and you just want to be safe and secure, you're playing more of a defensive kind of deck, or that's just how your playstyle is, those are your blockers, an option of blockers that you can use for this deck. Another good card coming out, and it's a copy of 2 that comes in 1 box, is Tsukaimon. So your level 3, play cost of 3, Digivolution cost of 0, DP of 2000. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel and its traits among them to your hand. Doesn't hit as strong as your your Gatomons here, it doesn't cost as much either, but you can at least search one card for a play cost of 3. And typically that's what you kind of start off with every round, depending on the situation, but pretty decent. Next you got actually 4 copies of Witchmon. This is a security check card effect. At the end of the battle, play this card without paying its memory cost. And it has an on-play effect of return one purple level 5 or lower Digimon card from your trash to your hand. So it actually helps you with the milling that purple does. And milling is kind of a term for trashing cards from your deck to your grave or to your trash. It helps you to gain additional cards to your hand that's already been played, or that's in your trash. Next we got Wizardmon. There's 4 copies of this guy. Play cost of 5, Digivolution cost of 2, level 4 with a 6000 DP. No effects here, so this is one card you may be looking at to replace when you're trying to make this deck a little bit more competitive. And next we have Bastamon. Last time, I believe there's been a few Bastamon, but the last one I remember is early on in Digimon when they started this TCG. This new TCG, at least, it was blue. This is a level 5, play cost of 6, Digivolve cost of 3, 7000 DP. When you play this from your hand to the field, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. That might not hit. Just depends on how the field is and the situation at hand. But you don't have a lot of targets with level 3. Unless it's already been Digivolved. But also you could get rid of their blockers such as like Ghostmon, Combatarimon and such. These decks come with 5 copies of Lady Devimon. This is your other rare in this deck. Play cost of 6, Digivolve cost of 3, 6000 DP. When Digivolving, you may trash one card in your hand to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 yellow and 1 purple card with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel in their traits, among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. This girl, when Digivolving, you actually get 2 cards, a possibility of hitting 2 cards to bring to your hand. Pretty good. This is a card that you do want to keep in this deck. It does kind of follow what you're trying to do with Lady Devimon, Angelomon, and the playstyle that comes here. Your other level 6 hitter, aside from Mastermon in this deck, is 4 copies of Juno. I don't think you're ever going to be hitting a play cost of 11 unless you really need this card on the field to start hitting on your side. Retaliation, and this is a nice little effect. When this Digimon is deleted after losing a battle, delete the Digimon it was battling. So it actually deletes what kills this Digimon if it's in a battle. Pretty nice. When Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Then return 1 Digimon card from your trash to your hand. So that's a milling effect where you put 3 cards from the top of your deck to your trash, and whatever you trashed, you can look at those 3 and add 1 of those Digimon to your hands. Pretty good effect. Your option cards, it comes with 2 Chaos Degradation cards. So play cost of 8. The main effect of this card is place one of your opponent's Digimon face down at the top or bottom of your opponent's security stack. If you do, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So essentially what's going on is you can either take your opponent's Digimon, put it on the top of the stack and trash it automatically, or you can put it at the bottom because you can hit it fairly easily, and trash another possible effect, option card, or tamer, or another Digimon that you don't know what's in their security stack. So you have your choice of going on top or bottom. The security effect is you may place one of your opponent's Digimon face down at the top or bottom of its owner's security stack. So you don't get both of them if this is coming from your own security stack, but at least you have a chance to mess up their field and kind of control how the game is going. And that's what that's for. Darkness Wave is a cost of 1. Uh, main the main effect is trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Then, if you have a yellow Digimon in play, return one yellow or purple Digimon card from your trash to your hand. So it's a low cost of 1. It's a milling effect, but it also gives you a chance to actually add to your hand. So it actually helps you to continue to move your deck along if you're getting stuck at certain parts of, you know, how your cards are coming out of your deck. Lastly, and this is coming from BT2, this is an alternate art of Night Raid. It's a cost of 2. Main effect is play 1 purple level 3 Digimon from your trash without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects on this Digimon played with this effect don't activate. That's unfortunate, but at least you're adding something to your field. They may not be able to attack, but you can start building off of them right off the bat. Security check, activate this card's main effect. So it's pretty nice. If you didn't like the other artwork, this is an alternate art. I'm really happy about this card. I do like this art compared to the other one. So I may be playing this one as for myself at least. But you get 4 copies of this within this deck. That's your deck. Parallel World Tactician. Keep on when I say parallel alternate world. But let's go ahead and take a look at what cards we may be wanting to add to this and how it looks when you're actually playing a couple hands. So right off the bat, you do have your deck here. Give it a nice little shuffle, especially when you're playing with a friend. Let them go ahead and do a final cut. Usually I just pull half from the middle, add it to the top, and I'm just practicing, seeing how the deck works on my own. And this right here is our little security stacks. Then you start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say we're going second, so we'll get our extra draw. You don't want to hatch your Digi Egg, and you got your little Nairamon to start off with. So here's your hand. I'll go ahead and put this down just like so. And what I do is see who I got, depending on the level there is. So turn 1, what most likely is happening here is you have an on-play effect from Sukamon, so you do want to play that card. But what you can do is put Ghostmon right on top of Nairamon, and then play Sukamon. So reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. So what we'll do is here is 1, 2, 3, and see if any of them have Fallen Angels or Angels, which this does not. So, and say if you had your 2 Junomon in play, but if you got this, you can add this one to your hand, which isn't the case here, unfortunately, but we did have that in hand, thankfully. These are 3 cards we start off with. Nothing here to grab onto, so we'll put that in any order, and it goes to the bottom of your deck. And that's a play cost of 3, so 1, 2, 3, it'll actually be your opponent's turn at this time. So you start off with 4 cards. You're not able to attack the same turn that you put something on the field, which is okay. Most likely during that next one, they probably attacked you for 1, and with the 6000 DP, you're probably taking their Digimon away from it there. So say you're left with 4 stacks, draw 1, you get another Sukaimon. Awesome. You do have the option now to put this from your hatch zone onto the field, and then we can keep on playing from there. You have a couple options, say if they gave us 3 to start off with as well. You'll play this for 2. You can play it directly, but that's a whole 6 on the memory gauge. But if you play it for 2, you're not really playing the on-play effect. Return 1 purple Little 5 or lower Digimon card from your trash to your hand. We don't have much here, but I can add this to my hand. But we already have a Lady of Devimon, and we don't have 2 level 4s just yet. So it might be nice just to continue to Digivolve. When this comes out of your hatch zone, because you Digivolved it the other turn, you can go ahead and attack this turn. Playing this, since we're actually Digivolving 1, 2, 3, it'll put them at a memory of 2, but we are able to still hit the effect of when we trace 1 card in your hand, which most likely I'm just going to go ahead and trash Juno. Keep these 2 cards because I can search for a hint with Sukaimon later on next turn, and look at the top 3 cards again for the effect of Lady Devimon. So I can add 1 yellow, 1 purple. This time around, because this is our 3 cards, I only can add Lady Devimon, which is nice. I don't really need these 2 cards at the time, but it actually helps me to rotate through my deck. And if I get another level 4, if I want to play this next turn, I have the option to. But now I have a couple options to Digivolve my Mastamon next turn. But this time it is my opponent's turn. Alright. So nice little effects here. To me, there's not a lot of synchronization of a lot of the effects, kind of like Paildramon from the other deck. But you do see how these cards kind of work together. It's really focused on those lines of being an angel or fallen angel or archangel in that matter for this deck. Let's see what we can get off of another turn here, another round actually. And if we were to go first, we do start off with the top 5 cards. And we do not draw for this turn. We are able to hatch still, which is nice. This time we got Lotmon, Level 4 Wizard, got your Devimon, Mastamon, and Junomon. So we actually open up pretty nicely. If we're going first, definitely you are Digivolving, and because we're not starting off with anything to play, we can 1, 2 just as Digivolve into Wizardmon. We're not playing anything on the field at this time. It's not like we have teamers just buying the actual starter deck itself, but that's okay. We'll work with what we got. So after my opponent's turn, I do draw again. Now we have 2 5s and 2 6s in hand, and we can bring this guy out. So with Wizardmon, we can play or Digivolve into Lady Devimon and gain its effect when Digivolving. So in this case, we'll trash Junomon and reveal the top 3. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, we do get Angelomon. This one is not an angel, so we want to be able to pull Salamon there. And those go to the bottom of our deck. So we did get a 1-for-1 deal, and we kind of emptied out our deck. Now with playing 3, depending on how much energy they gave us, say they gave us 2, or say they gave us 3, we are sitting at 0 now. So anything we play now, it'll turn into your opponent's turn. But what we can do is attack. And because we're attacking, if you have a yellow Digimon to play, which we don't at this time, we would have been able to draw one from Nairomon's inherited effect. So that's how the deck pretty much works. When you do have a Digivolving play, you do want to digivolve in that manner. Thankfully, we did pull in Digimon, so this is something, even if Lady Digimon got destroyed, we can play from our hand next turn Digimon and get an effect of, you know, kind of messing up their deck from there. Nice thing is, if they do still these two do survive, and depending on which turn and how much memory they give us from the turn your opponent gives you from the turn, because you have 2 level 5s here, you can DNA Digivolve into your Mastamon here and have all of these stack up together all in one, and now you have your Mastamon. And that's how you play or DNA Digivolve. If you ever hear the term Jogress evolution, this is what it is you're combining both your stacks into one. Alright, so hopefully that gives you an idea of how this deck plays out. Like I said, these are starter decks. I'm not trying to showcase what it looks like precisely if you're actually gonna try and play in a tournament at your local shop, and how much you want to change it. There's a lot of changes, and let me go ahead and go through that now. And like I said in the beginning of this video, is that your Digimon, your Nairamon, actually has another option of actually using Demi Miramon. This effect is continuous, so as long as your Digimon is still in play, you can always draw a card, and then you're going to be trashing a card afterwards off of Nairamon's effect. Demi Miramon's effect is when it's deleted. So you'll draw 1 card and from your deck, and then look at your hand, see how it's playing out, and then trash 1 card from there. So it's 2 options. They're both viable for this deck style, especially if you're using more of the purple line. Next we got Black Gatomon. This is from BT8. It has a rush effect, so you can attack the same turn that this comes into play. So if you're playing it right from the hand, you can rush it, you can attack, boom, yeah, you're hitting your opponent's security check right off the bat. Retaliation is another inherited effect, but you do want to make sure you digivolve this card before to get the extra effect. A really good yellow card that's pretty expensive. It's pretty prices at the moment. I got it early on, and I just held on to a set of these, which I'm blessed with. But you have Magnet Angemon, and this is a level 5 Archangel that you want to play from your hand. Yeah, Archangel. But you trigger recovery +1. So no matter where you're at on your security stack, even if you're at 5, you can give yourself a +1 from there. The inherited effect, during your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for every 3 security cards you have. So if you have 6, you're hitting for +2. You're not always going to keep 6, especially during, later rounds. You're probably at a lower stack, but at least you'll get a +1. That's a pretty good possibility. If you're playing any Ophanimon, it doesn't have to be. There's only a couple that I can think of. I don't think they made too many Ophanimons. But this is Ophanimon Fall Down mode. And if you're playing Ophanimon, this can digivolve from that Digimon for a cost of 2. When digivolving, if this Digimon has a purple card in its Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. If it has yellow, recovery +1. So you can actually add. And if you have both of them in the kind of like the Jogress or DNA Digivolution, you can actually gain both of these effects, which is really good. And on top of that, of everything, when this card is deleted, you may play 1 purple or yellow level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. And it doesn't say that you can't use this effect when it's on play. So it's a really good card. When you get to this, it doesn't leave you empty-handed once it's destroyed. There's not much tamers out there that you want to play with this deck. I've seen a few renditions of this deck, but what you're looking for is TK Takaishi from BT1, TK and Kari from BT6 and Kari from BT8. The BT1 TK helps you to keep some, set your memory to 3 if when turns change to you and your opponent doesn't leave you with much memory, it gives you a little bit extra boost there. When you play this from your hand or from the security check, look at your security stack, then reveal 1 card in it and add it to your hand if that card is yellow. Trigger recovery +1. So if you're looking at your recovery, your security stack, add a yellow card to your hand and you can actually recover +1 from your top deck to your security check. Pretty nice to have. And the start your turn is always a nice little thing to keep on the field. Again, with your memory, start of your turn, if you have fewer security cards than your opponent, gain 2 memory. So you have a possibility of starting your turn at 5 memory on the memory gauge, which is pretty nice. Gives you a lot to do during your turn. But during your turn, when one of your yellow Digimon attacks, and keep in mind if you have a Phonymon here, or even Mastamon, when this is treated as both purple and yellow. So when this one attacks, you may suspend this tamer to have one of your opponent's Digimon lose -1000 DP. So if they got a blocker that's about to block this, and it might delete them both, you can use this and resuspend it to make your opponent's Digimon 11,000 instead. And I did pull this up for Kari Kamiya from BT8. It has the same effect as TK Takaishi. If you have 2 memory or less, set your memory to 3 at the start of your turn. But the on play, this is not an on play, but for Kari, it's during your turns, when a card is added to your security stack, you may suspend this Digimon to gain 1 memory. So if you have Kari on the field, say this is Kari, and you play TK Takaishi, you can pull a yellow card to get recovery +1, and because you add the top card of your deck to your security stack, you can actually gain 1 memory off of Kari being on the field. So it kind of works hand in hand, TK and Kari together. That's pretty nice. Reinforced Memory Boost is another great card to have in your deck. Security check, place this card in its owner's battle area. The delay effect, the first main effect of this is reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, place one of them on the top of your security stack face down, add the remaining card. So you actually get an extra security stack plus another card in your hand, and because it stays on the field, you can delay and pull this out and trash it later on, and you gain 3 memory off of that by itself. Tactical Retreat is pretty nice. It's a cost of 1. The main effect is place one of your Digimon on top of your security stack face down, and then trash all of the Digivolution cards of that Digimon. So the Tactical Retreat, you just have one of your Digimon. You just need to survive for the next round. So you just add another security check. If you pull this from your security, trigger recovery +1. So pretty much if you triggered it, you just replaced it. Pretty nice. Another good option card is Flame Hellscythe from BT8, and the main effect of that is one of your opponent's Digimon gets -6000 for the turn. Then play 1 purple or yellow Digimon with 6000 DP or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. It's really good. The security check is just activating your main effect off of this card as well. Heavy hitters for this set, you can add Omnimon Zord Defeat. Because it is using purple, you are able to get to that Digimon, and you know he's been out since BT5, and that guy has not stopped hitting hard. I mean, unless Digimon is coming out with a ban list, this card is gonna continue to be a good card. You might be limited if that was the case, but I mean, even if you're playing 2, this is a really good card. It's a level 7. when you delete it, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. When digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Security plus, and this is a very rare, especially for level 7s. It has a security effect of play this card without battling, and and without paying its memory cost. So it hits your field, you don't lose any memory, and you don't even battle. Your opponent gets to keep their suspended Digimon, but you just added a 13,000 DP hitter to your side of the field, and it's not looking fun for the next go around. There's not a lot of 13, 14, and 15s out there, but at least he's going to be deleting something on your field, you know? Really crazy. Because this is a yellow and purple deck, you do have the options of going for Lucamon and Lucamon Chaos mode. And because you're kind of playing a semi-mill deck here in recovery, messing around with your security stack, your trash is going to be filled pretty easily. Lucamon hitting your field, a level 3 10,000 DP hitter at the cost of only 5, looks really good. On play, you already get recovering. It has a recovery +1, so there's a lot to look into this deck, but it can get pretty pricey. So if you're actually looking at this deck to see if what you want to do, make it more expensive, be more competitive, the options are there. So we'll leave that up to you guys. Alright, that's all I got for this deck. I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, take care and be safe, guys. See ya.